Hello and welcome to our brand new show, Kim Inglis Interviews. I am Kim Inglis and I will be interviewing a range of successful, amazing, fantastic business women and men in the coming weeks and months. My guests today have all had fantastic careers that they turned their backs on, but they now have successful businesses of their own and lots of reasons why they did it. With me today is Nicola Cook, author and business consultant, Jo Hand, recruitment expert, and Kim Mitchell, who has an online male cosmetic business. We're going to come to that in just a little while. But first of all, you've all got families. I've got a family, our own businesses, all the things that go with that, house, family, everything else. And this kind of tag, superwoman, is that how you see yourself, Nicola?
No, definitely not. No, I think you've just got to get on with it, haven't you? You know, you do the best that you can with the resources that you've got, and it's good if you've got a good support system around you, which I happen to have. And there are some days that you do feel like you've run out the door and you're holding your trousers and your skirt up with a safety pin, and you just got to, you know, fake it till you make it and get on with it.
So that superwoman tag, because it's other people, I don't know if it's men that put that tag on, it's almost like a criticism, is it, that you want too much?
I think it's sort of the opinion of a lot of men is that women just can't do everything, but I think a lot of women out there are proving that we can do it all, and as long as you've got balance, and you know, there's some wonderful things that you can use to support you day to day if you've got family. You know, I mean, the 70s slow cooker, it's alive and living in my house, because every night there's a meal on the table done because I chopped the night before and put it in there. And it's an amazing invention, and without that I'd be 2 hours a night cooking as well. So it's just planning, preparation, and keeping a balance of all the activities, business and family.
It's that whole organisation thing, isn't it? I mean, do you think about how other people see you?
I do. I think quite often those girls are quite tough on ourselves and tougher than we need to be. Oh, I beat myself up all the time about it, and you know, am I being a good mother? I didn't iron a jumper before she went out, and it doesn't actually matter, because she's going to end up covered in muck by the time she's, you know, I'll pick her up again, and you know, it doesn't really matter if you're 5 minutes late, or so, you know, your makeup's not quite there when you get there. You just manage.
So is that something that you've learnt then from having had a job working for somebody else and now having your daughter and your own business, that you've got to give away some of that control?
I think everything can't be a priority. Something's got to be compromised, and you've just got to make the call and say, right, okay, I'll do the best I can, and it'll work, it'll be fine. And usually you're the one who feels worst about it, and actually other people don't tend to notice. They just think that you're getting on and doing fine.
It's compartmentalising, isn't it? Which are we good at that?
I'd like to say yes, but probably not.
I would say probably not, because most women are good multitaskers, and if you put everything into a compartment, you're not a multitasker, because you can't do everything all at once. So I'm not good in that way, but I'm a very good multitasker. I'm better at doing lots of things all at once. I'm not good at doing one thing. I get bored and I don't do it very well, but if I'm doing 10 things, I'll do them really well.
Well, let's just talk a little bit about you. And you had this amazing high-flying career, jet-set lifestyle, fancy cars, everything, you know, that people think they want, but you turned your back on it. Can you tell me why?
Well, I had two very young children at the time, and it was all very glamorous over the years, you know, flying everywhere for business meetings, but you get sick of the flying up and down, you get sick of the very early flights on the morning, the very late flights back up to the northeast, because the route's not good coming back up to the northeast flight-wise, is it? You know, it's 8 o'clock back, and certain evenings where there's been high winds, if you like, and you have to get off the plane with the fire brigade supporting you because the steps aren't sustainable, you know what I mean, and things like that, and not seeing your children. And I just got the feeling that I was constantly going for meetings that were really pointless, and it was taking me away from doing what I love doing, which is recruitment. So I just decided to take voluntary redundancy and set up a local agency where I didn't have to do all of that travelling, and I could focus on the business locally.
And has that given you a better balance? Because you're obviously still working extremely hard.
Very hard, but I'm home every evening, so my family are happier, and I'm happier because I'm not having to feel guilty for staying away all the time.
I mean, Nicola, you're very good at balancing life. You've got 3 companies and all these different things that you do. Do you think by working for yourself and with your family, you've got the perfect work-life balance?
Absolutely, yeah, it really, really does work. I mean, you were talking about that balance, and when I had my child. You know, I do travel with my business, and it does take me away from home. But I made a decision that I would be at home more than I would be away, so that I had a 3-night rule, which meant that I was at home 4 nights out of every 7. So within a week, and that would well, actually it wasn't that I was at home, it was that I was at home for bath time and bedtime 4 nights out of 7. So that included like evening commitments and networking events and so on. So in a week I would just schedule it, and if something came up, it was like, well, no, my diary's already committed, so I can't do it now, I can do it later. And you've got that power in your decision making when it is your own business, that you can make it around your lifestyle. And I do balance it quite well. You know, if I'm away a lot, or if I'm working quite late, then I'll make sure I've got time at home.
And do you all have the power to say no to things that you don't want to do?
I think it gets easier as you evolve in your business. In the beginning, I don't know about you guys, but it's very hard to say no, because everything coming through is an opportunity, and you're always worrying about where the next bit of business is coming from in those early days. But I think when you work for another employer, before, you know, prior to you having your own business, you make compensations, and your family take the back seat, and you everything gets adjusted, and they keep getting put in the background for things. When it's your own business and you're a bit more confident about where the business is coming from, you actually, as you've just pointed out, your time is taken with the family and you're not available. You can't do that when you're employed by somebody. You have to do what you're told. Absolutely. And I think that's the key difference.
Yeah, it's that balance again between having the confidence in the business and then being able to manage your time as well.
And the confidence to say no.
Yeah.
Instead of yes.
No, I haven't mastered that yet.
Usually you're not saying no. This is the thing, is people think that if you say no, that means like, no, that's the end of it. But very often it's just like, well, actually, I'm not available then. This is when I am available. And you make the decision about when you are available. And it could just be the next day after that or whatever.
I also think from a business development point of view, that's very powerful, because if people think you're not always available, you're in demand and they want you more.
That's absolutely true, isn't it?
It sends out a message that if you want me, book me early. You know? So it's quite good.
I mean, we've been in these difficult recession times and everything. How's that affected you? I mean,
oh gosh,
have you found it difficult?
Well, I've got 2 different heads. I've got my men's makeup head. That business is thriving, actually. I think I was just saying before, I put an e-newsletter out, and I got £500 worth of orders back the same day.
That's good marketing.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, and it wasn't even after payday, it was just middle of the month, and I just think that with the men's makeup, it's a growing market, and I mean, I love it because I do it all from home. There's no travelling unless I want there to be. You know, I've been down and done a makeover on Scott Mills, but I fitted it in around my family, and I love that side of the business because it is completely virtual.
So do you never have those moments when you're working from home and you are by yourself? Do you ever have moments of self-doubt or guilt that you're not doing it right? Or
I often have moments of self-doubt and feel like I don't do it right. Then I phone my friends and I either get the mickey taken out of me, or they tell me something that's happened to them that puts it all in perspective. And to be honest, I'm not ever down for very long, because I've just got such down-to-earth friends that they just keep it real.
That's really important.
Yeah, it is. And my mum looks after Chloe, and you know, she kind of puts it in perspective. And if I'm having a down day, she'll put Chloe on the phone and I'll have a chat with her. And she's 21 months and she kind of puts it all in perspective because she's watching Bob the Builder, and that's really important. And
I mean, this is it. I think we all do the self-doubt thing. I don't know whether men do it the same way. I mean, how do you two cope? I can't believe that either of you two ever doubt yourselves, actually.
Well, I certainly don't doubt my own ability and my team's ability, because it's you know, it's about the whole team. But the recession has been challenging, particularly in our industry, because it's about jobs and there's not been as many of them around, and people, you know, who want to save money might not use an agency. They might think, oh well, I'll do it myself. But only when they start to advertise in the press, and then the time that you have to allow to cope with the demand of the CVs coming through, do they suddenly realise, oh, it's actually more cost effective to use an agency who can just deliver 3 excellent people for interview, and that's all I have to do, make a decision on the day. So it's about educating clients in a difficult market about that. So we've still grown our turnover on the prior year, which I'm really proud of, actually, when I've seen a lot of agencies close in the area over the recession. So although we haven't had a fantastic year, we're still out there and we've still grown on the year before.
Holding your own, definitely. I mean, Nicola, what about you? What motivates you if you don't have self-doubt? What motivates you if you do have a bad day? What brings you back up?
I think it's the purpose behind, you know, what my businesses do. For me, it's not like, you know, my business is just a means to an end. It's the actual what we deliver and what we're capable of, and how that helps other people and other businesses achieve their goals is so powerful. You know, I mean, I was working just this last week. I had a group of chief executives who've all been made redundant through the recession, and we were working with them to help build their self-esteem. And we had some like amazing breakthroughs, you know, where people had just, you know, got new perspective on their lives or reset their goals. And I come away from a session like that and I think, yeah, you know, like that's why I do what I do, because it's just so powerful and it's so meaningful.
It's a real theme for 2010, I think, isn't it? It's passion and, you know, building confidence and seeing kind of a new way of working almost.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Well, ladies, thank you very much indeed. That was Kim Inglis Interviews, and we'll see you again very soon.